Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. We have had a bunch of Sagat footage just drop in the last little bit. It's a few days before Evo now, and people are very hungry for Sagat. He'll be launching very shortly after Evo, and he is playable on the show floor at Evo, but we don't get to play him just yet. So we gotta take what info and what footage can be found. A bunch of different media sites have posted various gameplay snippets of the character, and we also had an official guide for Sagat Go Live. If you haven't seen that one yet, I'll post a link for that in the video description, sort of an overview of the character officially posted by Capcom. And of course by now, we know a lot of the big hitters, like Sagat is mostly classic Sagat with a few new tricks, like say the Tiger Nexus move, where he can get a little bit of a mix engine going on, right? He has the overhead, and he also has a move that's plus on block, and the plus on block move is duckable, so you want to duck, but then if you duck, you get smoked by the overhead, so on and so forth. And no small controversy about his fireball game, as his classical Tiger shots, while they're, very much in the game, it's not quite the same, as it's all one move now, right? One motion, and the button press determines which Tiger shot you get, versus high and low Tiger shot were distinct and separate moves beforehand for, well, since forever. And okay, so we do know the bigger picture, I suppose, but there's a lot of particulars in this footage that's been put out I would like to highlight, just a lot of little fun things. We know a lot of the broader strokes, yes, but fighting game characters are defined by, the minute little details. And there's some fun little things that show their face in all the footage I poured over here. Like, a pretty big one is just the base Tiger shots, right? It's a core part of his game. Street Fighter 6 fireballs they're a little bit different because, parry is a thing, so you don't have to necessarily be pressured as much as you would be in older games, but still, the difference between speed is pretty pronounced. Like here, you can see the difference between the medium Tiger shot and the heavy Tiger shot, and the speed difference is pretty huge, actually. So the medium goes extra slow, like not guile slow or nothing, but slow enough to really control the pace of the screen for a moment, or like make people waste bar pairing longer than they need to. And the fast one, well, it's real fast. Like in some of the other footage I've seen here, so just tossing projectiles, as Sagat do. And here we have a quick high Tiger shot into another quick high Tiger shot. And you can see here, after the first one connects, Sagat does not have enough time to jump the second one. And who knows if it's truly perfect timing, but it looks extra strict here. And you could argue Sagat has longer legs. That could be potentially it. But the fast base Tiger shot looks pretty menacing in that way. Like, if it is this kind of form of lockdown that you have to like strictly duck, you can't just, follow your instincts and jump again, that could lead to a lot of shenanigans. Mixing between the two speeds and the fact that the high Tiger shot will more likely have much better recovery, like he'll be able to act again faster after tossing it compared to low shot, you might be able to get some people pretty tricked up. Like the variance looks a lot more defined than say like, a Ryu Ken fireball. And of course then we do have low Tiger shot, and unfortunately due to the way the mechanics now work, it is only going to be one speed. Now that said, the speed don't look slow, it looks like a pretty quick projectile, all things told, so it's certainly not going to be like without any use. And you can get an EX low, by the way. EX low is 2 hits, EX high is 3 hits, and EX high will also hit crouchers, by the way. Bit of an odd choice, but we'll have to really get a few weeks of gameplay in to see how it all shakes out. Now for some other interesting things, Sagat's new command normal, that kind of like upper elbow, that looks sort of jacked up. So it's a meterless launcher. So in this sequence here, you can see him go for the elbow, go for a Tiger knee, and then they still have enough air, you can get another juggle after the fact. So on its face, before anything else, like this is a move where you can easily stack up some damage. Like there's no EXs here, there's no supers here, like this is just a basic hit, right? So cool stuff, but then you add another layer to it. Going by the footage of the bots playing it out, it also looks like it's going to be pretty viable anti-air. And yeah, like here off this anti-air, this is a lot to get. Like the fireball is nice, and the fact that we get the step kick off the drive rush into a Tiger knee into an uppercut after all that, that's a lot of damage. Sagat can like rip you in half off a bad jump. Like that's great for him. And the real scary part is he didn't even add any spice to this, right? Like, there's no level 1, level 2. If you get hit by the level 2, it automatically grounds you and you can go for whatever those follow-ups, or even level 3. You could potentially take half your life off a bad jump. And he already has uppercut, so he's already good against jumps. And he has the fireball suite he has, so he's going to make you want to jump a little bit more. So interesting to see how it'll all go. And hey, while we're on it, speaking of jumps specifically, Sagat's got some range off some real far jumps. He don't need to be too close to you to get you. So I'm assuming that's got to be jump roundhouse. And then we have the moneymaker, crouch fierce punch, which is special cancelable, by the way. So yeah, that's some pretty respectable range all told. Now, admittedly, a lot of this is on the back of two things. One, like the crouch heavy punch connecting it all from there, and then, you know, getting the special cancel in. And obviously, low tiger shot's definitely going to have more recovery than high tiger shot. So if you're scared of getting jumped on, it's the fireball you don't want to do, because he certainly would have recovered in time if that was a high tiger shot. But like, we all expected he'd have good normals. That's sort of his thing. But I feel like part of the reason they brought back that like Capcom versus SNK 2 collection is so they could reintroduce the public to the old Sagat crouch heavy punch, because it's very seemingly gonna be busted like it was back in the day. Like that kind of monster range and special cancelable, like it looks pretty strong, y'all. Like, again, time will tell in the end, but it feels like we're doing a Sagat CVS2 Glory Days speedrun in some of the footage I'm seeing with how ridiculous that button is. And there's just a lot of good stuff going on, like say the quality of life department. Like say, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of tiger knees. If you space a tiger knee correctly, you can make an advantage on block, sure. And it keeps that kind of screen shake effect here if it's plus. Over the various patches, they've been adding more of those indicators. I'm kind of happy it's here from the start. Like, if you hit the meaty or the space tiger knee, you see the screen shake. If it's advantage, you know it's your turn. No mystery, no guessing. I love that kind of stuff. Also, the 11.7 CPU is doing a frame kill here. What? When did the level 7 CPU get that good? But if it's there, spoiler, watch the CPU and steal its setups, because it definitely works. Other stuff like the classical step kick. So classical step kick looks like a pretty easy hit confirm if you can get the counter hit, right? So get the hit, you see the flash, hit buttons. So that's good. As far as is it enabling Kara cancels, where you can step forward and cancel into another move, that we don't know yet. I didn't see the computer do it. Maybe it doesn't exist. It would be a big disappointment if it doesn't. If I can get my hands on Sagat at Evo, trust me, it'll be one of the first things I'm trying out, though. Other fun little things, like the Tiger Nexus mix-up is probably going to be better than you think, because here it gets blocked, right? Well, that's no good. But there's no punish counter. So Sagat does get hit, it says counter hit, so they were hitting a button or something, but it looks like the overhead is not punishable in any way, so that means that's something you're gonna want to spam, and that means they're gonna want to block, and the more they block, then you can go for the other option that's plus on block. So if the overhead is truly safe on block, that means the potential pressure and like mix-up game from that is gonna be pretty okay. Another pretty fun thing, so Sagat's got a lot of target combos in this incarnation of the character, and stuff like his crouch medium punch target combo, that bounces if you are caught airborne. So his combo routing potentially could be a lot more varied and interesting than you think, because getting those ground bounces in is pretty interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out. There is one thing I'm a little disappointed in. So here's like a really cool, really big combo, right? And it has that big fancy charged heavy tiger uppercut with like the wall bounce and like the cinematic stuff, right? It's very clear from this footage, before the trailer made it sort of ambiguous, right? I thought how it would work is you get that big cinematic, you knock him up on the wall, and you could land first, and then do like say a level 1 super after the fact. Here it's clear. There's a good deal of recovery, and while you do get a hard knockdown, that's not nothing. You're not going to get a level 1 super after the fact. Also, as you can see here, it's happening in the corner, and we're abusing that because, you know, using Tiger Nexus launcher here, that elbow command normal, and the charge uppercut, right? We're getting some big juggles, but notice how it separates you after the fact. So that definitely means you're not going to be directly on top of them to threaten a throw or like any kind of like, you know, high-low mix with the overhead or whatever. Like, it's good. I'm sure it does a lot of damage and you know, you're gonna be happy with it and you can get like a meaty tiger shot, or you are perfectly spaced and you can get like a meaty tiger knee, so it'll hit and be advantage on block. But like, they're definitely keeping your distance so you can't just overwhelm them as soon as this happens, because they probably figured if you hit this, you're probably already dealt enough damage. And the other thing here is like, hey, once again, another big combo with exactly that, right? So it's scary stuff. Don't get hit by it. It's going to hurt. But that's definitely going to be a key weakness of Sagat. Is some of those bigger buttons like that stand heavy punch, huge range. But look at that. The recovery on that is going to be awful. Like, it looked like he fully recovered, and he still got hit by a punish counter crouch heavy punch. So it's both good and bad, because once again, speaking to how strong I think crouch heavy punch is going to be, because look at the range he punish counters that away from. Like, you know, Ryu can stand heavy punch is not hitting from that far away, right? So the range is a big deal, but he really might pay for that range on a longer than average recovery on whiff. So he might be great at whiff punishing, but it looks like he might be more susceptible to getting whiff punished. So just watch out on that one. But yeah, that's just some of my thoughts about some of the various things I've seen from Sagat now that there's been a bunch of footage put out. A lot we knew here, and like, you know, we're learning more, and of course, there's going to be an absolute mountain of footage coming out of EVO, I'm very sure, and if I can get my hands on time with them, I'll do my best to make a video, if at all possible, and just give you whatever thoughts I can figure out. So if you got some things you want me to check, post in the comments below. But overall, Sagat looking like a very strong start to Season 3. You know, he's a classic, beloved character. This is not a character you can afford to get wrong, right? And it's a character that's scary to change anything or add new things to. And they're adding a lot of new things, like that whole Tiger Nexus mix-up engine. That's not anything like he's ever really had before. We got all sorts of new target combos. The level 2 super with 4 options. That's crazy. 4 options, right? We covered that already in the trailer breakdown. But yeah, there's a lot of being added to him, right? So Old Dog can learn new tricks. Although the big pressure point's going to be like, how good or bad have they left Low Tiger shot? Having only a singular option, that definitely hurts it. Like, there's no way to put it. It hurts it. It's just a question of how much is it gonna hurt. That is admittedly a pretty big change. But hopefully the positives outweigh the negatives, and definitely a lot of people very hyped for Sagat. I've seen almost overwhelming positivity for the character. People are very excited. I'm very excited, like, and I'm also quite excited for his world tour. I know not everyone cares about the lore, right? But, you know, they definitely are doubling down on he's finally like a man of peace. So I want to see, you know, what he's got to say about a lot of things. So I'm really interested to see where that world tour is going to go on him. But I digress, I suppose. So when it comes to EVO, I'm going to try my best to get Sagat hands-on, and we'll see how that goes. And of course, when Sagat launches, check the channel. I'll do my best to give him the royal treatment in terms of guides and coverage. But other than all that, that is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.